As a wholesaler, you get paid solving the biggest problem investors have, and that's getting another deal. When you bring a good deal to an investor, he or she will gladly pay you for it, and the better you are at finding and acquiring contracts on good deals, the more money you'll make as a wholesaler. And that's why it's so important you understand what price you need to acquire a contract for so that you can take it to a local active cash buyer in your market and make a good profit wholesaling it. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down how to calculate your offer for wholesaling deals coming up. Hi, it's Jerry Norton, and when you're looking at a deal, there are two questions that you have to ask in order to determine what the right price is to acquire a winning deal that you can wholesale for a profit. We call this your maximum allowable offer, or MAO. Question number one is, what will a local active cash investor pay for this deal? What is the number that if I put this deal in front of a cash buyer, he or she will want it? Question number two is, how much money do I want to make as my wholesale fee on this deal? Once you know the answer to these two questions, you now have your maximum allowable offer, or your MAO. What will a cash buyer pay, and how much do I want to make? Now, there are three different ways to calculate your MAO when wholesaling houses, and I'm gonna break it down for you in detail. But first, if we've never met, I'm Jerry Norton, and this channel is dedicated to helping you make money right now in real estate, not later in 10 or 20 years, or even 3 to 5 years, but right now so that you can achieve true financial freedom and live your dream life. Consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. The first method for determining your MAO when wholesaling houses is the most common, and that's following the 70% formula. Now, I'll review the 70% formula briefly, but for more details, watch one of my other videos. The 70% formula is a common buy formula for fix and flippers. Here's how it works. Step one is determine the after repair value, or ARV. The ARV is the price a flipper will sell the house for to a retail buyer after they fix it up. ARV is determined by looking at comparable home sales in the area. Step number two is to take 70% of the ARV, or in other words, subtract 30% right off the top. The 30% accounts for three things: closing costs, carrying cost, and profit. Closing costs include all of the fees when you buy and sell a property, such as commissions, prorated property taxes, title insurance, recording fees, title fees, etc. Normally this accounts for about 8 to 9% of the ARV sale price. Carrying costs are the cost of capital to purchase the home and make the repairs. This accounts for about 5 to 6% of ARV. The profit is the remaining number that comes out of that 30%, and that accounts for about 15% of the ARV. So these three things add up to 30%, and they come right off the top. Now, step three is repairs. After subtracting 30% to cover closing costs, carrying costs, and profit, a flipper has to build in the cost of repairs, so you subtract that repair number. And what you're left with is the fix and flipper's buy price. So let me do an example real quick. Let's say that the ARV is $200,000 and repairs are $35,000. Following the 70% formula, what would a fix and flipper pay? Well, you would take the ARV of $200,000 times 0.7 minus $35,000 in repairs, which would get you to $105,000. So that's the price a cash buyer would pay, but not you. Now we have to build into the number your wholesale fee. How much do you want to make on the deal? So if it's $15,000, you would subtract $15,000 from the fix and flippers buy number to get your MAO. So in this example, $105,000 minus your $15,000 wholesale fee equals $90,000. So you would need to get the contract from the seller for $90,000 so that you could wholesale it to a fix and flipper who follows the 70% formula for $105,000. Now, method number two is to customize the buy formula to your market. In other words, the 70% formula is a general rule, but each market is going to have their own modified version based on competition. For example, right now, as of this recording in Phoenix, the formula that fix and flippers follow for homes under $300,000 ARV is 82%, not 70%. So if you were a wholesaler in Phoenix right now, you would adjust your MAO to ARV times 0.82 minus repairs minus your wholesale fee equals your buy price. Now remember, you always base your MAO on two things. What will a cash buyer pay and how much do I want to make? It's your job to learn what the current buy formula is in your market. Now there are two ways to learn this. Number one, always ask your cash buyers what their buy formula is. And number two, network with other wholesalers in your market, especially the players, and find out what they're doing with their buyers. Okay, method number three is a simplified version and works especially well when wholesaling to buy and hold investors, and especially well in low-end markets. And that's to take the recent local cash sales in your market and subtract your wholesale fee. Here are the steps to do it. Step number one, have a real estate agent get an MLS list of sold transactions for cash during the past 6 months in the market that you farm for leads. You can also buy this list from a data provider. Step number two, take the lead you're working on and see what other cash buyers have recently paid for a home in that same neighborhood. The assumption is they'll pay the same price for another similar deal. For example, if 30 days ago a similar house as your lead sold for $30,000 cash, it's safe to say that your lead will also sell for $30,000 cash. So step three then would be to subtract your wholesale fee from that cash price on a recent sale to get your MAO. Now method three, that's all I did when I first got started flipping junkers in Detroit. I would figure out what other cash buyers were paying in that neighborhood, and then I'd offer $10,000 less. It's really that simple. Now, be sure to watch this video where I use a real life example of how to do this strategy. At the end of the day, there really is no magic formula for determining your MAO. Always ask yourself, what will a local active cash buyer pay for this deal right now in my market, and how much do I want to make? As long as you're asking those two questions, you'll make the right offer and you'll always get good, profitable deals that you can wholesale. Now, another quick tip, use $10,000 as your lowest wholesale fee that you want to make on a deal. This gives you a little bit of a buffer, in case you have to wholesale it for a little bit less, you'll still make $7,000 or worst case $5,000, but make it worth your while. You should never go after at least a $10,000 fee, and honestly, $15,000, $20,000, and even higher are not unreasonable. Don't chase after making $1,000 or $3,000. Think bigger. I believe doing less deals with bigger profits is better than doing more deals with smaller profits. And I'm glad you stayed to the end of this video, because having a good deal analyzer to run the numbers is critical to your wholesaling business. And this is just one of the tools that comes with my house flipping deal management system called Flipster. Now, if you've never heard of Flipster, it's a cloud-based, all-inclusive house flipping deal management system. Not only does it organize, streamline, and automate all of the steps to flipping houses, but it actually finds and funds deals for you. It's really awesome, so whether you're looking to do your first deal or you're already doing deals every month, Flipster can take you to the next level. So if you're into flipping houses, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Just click the link in the description. And if you learned something in this video, show some love, hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm dedicated to helping you make more money in less time flipping houses so that you can live your dream life. Click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. And remember, it's not about the money, it's about having the time and freedom to have, be, do, and give everything that matters in life. That's what it's all about, and I'll see you on the next video.